Hey guys, welcome back to Kuma Style Reviews. We're taking a look at Action Toys' Machine Robo Series number 11, Blue Jet. Now, I do like Machine Robo. I like the mecha in it quite a bit. Some a lot more than others. Blue Jet is one of my favorite mecha of all time. So, seeing that they were releasing this and it was a lot more in scale with the Pose Plus Bicon Fu, I had to jump on it. And finally, got a chance over at TF Source. So, this is, from my view, about 4.5 inches tall to the tip of the faux nose cone there. Alright, in terms of accessories, these are the real nose cone. It splits in half and it actually becomes holsters for the swords that he comes with. So, instead of one sword like normal, he comes with two. Pretty cool. He also comes with a stand, which is standard for these Action Robo or Jesus Christ, Action Toys, Machine Robos bots. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. So we'll go ahead, get this out of the way, and take a look at the figure itself. Now, this is a die-cast figure, but the die-cast pretty minimal. I'll show you where the die-cast is in a second. All right, zoom in on him here. We're gonna brighten it up a little bit. Okay, the die-cast is pretty much this piece here. That's the die-cast. That is why it's a die-cast figure. So, if you're not familiar with quote-unquote die-cast figures, something can be considered a die-cast figure if literally the feet are die-cast, the hands are die-cast, the fingers on the hands are die-cast. If it has die-cast parts at all, it's a die-cast figure. So, don't necessarily buy things thinking that it's a die-cast figure, because very few brands, I can think of like the Future Models, EX Goken series, the Pose Plus Metal stuff. You know, those are lines that really use a heavy amount of die-cast in their figures, work the joints around them, and really do well. But most of these figures that are quote-unquote die-cast, whether it's Bandai, whether it's Signal, any of them, they're primarily plastic pieces. Bandai does have someone that really stand out. I think of Gunbuster in particular from their Soul Ichigoken line. That's a honkin' hefty piece. Stuff like that. But for the most part, they're primarily plastic. And it's a good thing because it helps with the joints and things like that. Keeping those nice and firm. You don't have those parts weighing it down. But, again, got off topic there a little bit. Giving you guys the full view of them. Now, one thing I will say off the bat is that there's this lock piece that locks in place when it's in jet mode. It clips in to these two pieces here. He does have a bit of ab crunch there, so we'll go over that in the transformation, but it comes actually clipped in place. So even though it's in robot mode, remember to take that piece out so you actually have the full articulation, because if you get it out of the package and just start playing with it, this piece is going to break. I know, because I had it happen and I had to get another one. So, kind of sucks, but I may be the first person to shed light on this. I may be the 50th, but I'm glad to be another one and hopefully save a couple of people from having the same thing happen. But okay. Looking at the articulation on this guy, head's on a ball joint, but because it has a really short neck, it doesn't really get a lot of upward and downward movement. Let's see, I believe it can do the full 360 there. Cool. Shoulders, because of the transformation, there actually is a forward butterfly. So even outside of the ball joint that it's on, it has a hinge here to go further parallel. All around, bicep swivel. The arms are double jointed. So there's an elbow joint there, and then there's a ball joint as well. Well, those are on a ball joint too. But yeah. Now, as you just saw, the wrists are on a ball joint. So it's got all-way rock, as well as that swivel, waist, 360 swivel. Very minimal ab crunch, as you can see there. Not much at all. Do that again, without my hands in your way. Boom. These pieces can go outwards, they're on little ball joints, as well as swing upwards and the like. So let's just swing him upwards to look at his hips. So outwards, forwards, this piece flips up. So backwards, 360, thigh swivel, Ratchet and knee joints. Only goes to 90 degrees though. Ankle tilt. Goes inwards, but not really outwards, somewhat. Down, up, static heels. Yeah, that's about the gist of it. So let's go ahead and get him decked out with some swords. Do a little bit of posing. So with these sword holsters, I wish they did it so that the outsides of the nose cone's face, but it's actually opposite. There are female ends there that go right into those skirt pieces. Boom. Boom. If I can find it. Okay. We'll go ahead and insert the left sword. Blade facing downward. Okay. It doesn't go all the way in. You can feel where it stops. Pretty easy. Other hand there. So go ahead and start. Something like that. That. And we're actually going to go up a little bit. Angle the camera downwards. Okay. Do that. Wish he had a bit more ankle tilt, but that's okay. Now taking a look at the stand quick. These pieces, these like triangle pieces, are modular. So you could take them and arrange them some different ways. I just have it like this. Because why not? A lot of people don't even have these things on it and just use it as kind of a standard base. And it has 1, 2, 3 points of articulation, each of these ratchets. And each of them can rotate. Alright, so he has 2 holsters, one for his bop mode, one for his plain mode. So let me make sure that I'm attaching the right one, because from behind they look a bit similar. Okay, I believe this is it. Pardon me if not. And I think it goes under there. Does it? Or is it this one? Of course it's the opposite one. So, get this reassembled. Get this on. Boom. Boom. And I do love the fact that it ratchets. And he's not the most articulated figure, but I mean, oh, gotta watch that. And then because of how it's going, it's a little back heavy. So let's go ahead and reverse it, actually. We'll go ahead and reverse the stand. There we go. Where's there? And darken it some. Yeah, I actually like that a lot. Okay, so we've got the sheaths taken off, swords away from them, so we're going to go ahead and transform it. I'm just going to go ahead and go in the order of the instructions. The first thing it says to do is flip the side skirts up. Now, on the sides of the skirts, there are these little pegs, and there are pegs on the sides of his waist. So just make sure those are pegged. Keeps his waist nice and straight. And then from there, that's when you flip that piece up and it taps right in. So far I like that everything lines up pretty perfectly. So with these feet, there's a hinge right there. Just flip the feet up, and there's also a peg that you can peg the front of the feet into. So there's a peg right here. Make the front of the feet meet the peg, snap it in. All right, so it has us, flip these panels on the fronts of the legs out. Boom. Boom. Okay. So First step is to peg the two legs together. They don't peg in very tight, but they peg in. All right. And with that, make sure that these thrusters on the back are all the way out. Okay. And naturally, there are two tabs that peg into like his taint area. Okay. So from there, swings have two hinges on them. Saying to bring those out. And there are pegs on the wings themselves that these hinges go into. Okay? So that's what you should have. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. And from there, it's having me go ahead. And when you bring the arms in, right? Bring the arms in. On the inside of the shoulder, there are tabs that tab onto the sides of his chest. Boom. And boom. Shows the hands facing inwards on the instructions. It doesn't really matter, but there they go. So this is what you got, right? And from there, it has you go ahead and put on the stand adapter and just keep it on the whole time. So let me see if I'm putting this on correctly. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. All right, so just peg that in place like so, okay? Stand adapter, right there. Okay, make sure the swords are out. These two nose cones, it should be obvious that they go right there. So, zoom in. See these two female ends? On the sides of the shoulders, that's where they peg in. So make sure they line up. They should line up pretty well. Boom. Okay? And there's that. And with the two swords, what we can do, there are these two things under his forearms. You can just slide them into. Make sure that I'm sliding them the right way. One. And there are little notches on the swords that will lock in place once you have them slid up far enough. 1, 2. Holds them in place. Boom. Okay. Make sure we're focused correctly. Darken that a smidge. Okay. Now that we've got the stand already out, go ahead and actually, I'm going to take one of the extension pieces off of the stand. Just peg it in like so. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, bring up the camera. Boom, boom, boom. All right, show the front of it. There we go. Oh. Get that peg back on. Boom. Easy. I wish that pegged a little bit tighter, not gonna lie. It'd be nice because the robot mode one, it pegs in very well, but pegs in tight enough. Obviously, it's not meant to just pick it up like that, so gotta blame the user there. User being me. But again, there's the alt mode. So, closing things out, we've got Action Toys' Machine Robo, Bike Robo, Blue Jet, as well as one of their sublines, Pose Plus Metals. I don't remember which in the series this is. I think it's 05, but it's by Kung Fu. I will say, outside of the originals, man, no company in modern history at very least has given this series more love than Action Toys. Says a lot for them. Now, the miniature Machine Robo series toys, not really the best quality. You kind of get what you pay for. They're that within that $40-$50 range, which is kind of bare minimum 4 little die-cast figures, but joints are kind of loose, this and that. They're not the most posable things, but they're nice little representations. And if you're a third-party Transformers collector in particular, you're gonna kind of recognize this design style from a certain company that we're not gonna mention at the moment. But yeah, they are definitely, if you're a Machine Robo fan, they're definitely worth the cost of admission. But if you're not and you just want kind of cool robot toys, with everything out there right now, the way that trends have been going, technology's been going, designs have been going, this and that, I don't really think that these in particular are going to fit your fancy. Now, the Pose Plus Metal stuff, which I've reviewed, all of them, full pictorials on kumastyle.com, all that, by all means, like that's high end, pretty much best you can get in terms of mecha collecting. But these guys are kind of lower mid end figures. And again, if you're just looking for something that's really cool, robot, despot, things like that, something you're going to fiddle with, these ain't really it. But that's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. Check out the full written articles, and galleries on kumastyle.com. And yeah, like, share, subscribe. Hope everybody's summer's been going well, and I'll see you next review.